Hey, this is Carmen. Thank you for joining me. So I wanted to share some of my experiences when offering Reiki to clients who are suffering from headaches. I broke this video into a few different sections. So special considerations, hand positions, and the session wrap up. So special considerations. The first thing I want to just say is, or point out, is that there are so many different types of headaches. There are migraines. There are tension headaches and other, more mechanical like headaches. There are quite a number of headaches that would you could consider originating from the liver. For instance, medication or too many supplements or environmental toxins. These are going to impact the liver. And then, of course, there would be what you might consider more emotional or mental, types of energy blockages that are manifesting in physical symptoms like a headache. So let's talk a little bit about the nature of energy blockages. So I find it super helpful to think about energy in the body, in and around the body, in terms of pulsing waves. So, our meridians are pulsing waves of energy through our body. Our chakras are, of course, you could think of chakras as more of a wheel, a spinning energy. However, I think of it more in terms of still a wave because our chakras communicate with each other. They vibrate each other. Okay? And then, of course, different chakras vibrate other chakras. For instance, the root chakra vibrates the crown chakra, and so on. So when we're thinking of energy flowing through the body, I find it helpful to imagine that energy as a wave. And in the case of an energy blockage, it's helpful to take that visualization one step further and think of that energy wave as maybe like a hose. So waves can become knotted, entangled, bound, attached. They can have attachments. They can become kinked. So there's lots of different ways that the energy can become stuck in one area of that wave or that hose. So let's go back to the hose. Let's talk about what would happen, for instance, with a garden hose. When we put a knot in it or a kink in it, water doesn't come out that other end anymore. It creates pressure behind that knot or that kink. Same thing, something similar happens with headaches. When the knot or the kink, for instance, actually resides in the head, let's say, for instance, their sleep has been disrupted and their cerebral fluid is not being cleansed as it normally would, and so toxins are building up. That pressure, that buildup is going to create a physical symptom of a headache. Migraines, for instance, might have originated, from something that's going on in the head. If they're receiving some type of targeted treatment, like chemotherapy or radiation, for instance, that's going to cause, the actual blockage or bind to be in the physical location of the crown of the head. So if we were to, go back to that analogy of the hose, if we were to continue to just try and shove information at that spot, it's going to create more pressure. So, this is why it's helpful to know about the different energy centers. And we're going to talk more about that in the next slide. Part of our role as a Reiki practitioner is to create a safe, nurturing space for our clients to be held in wholeness. When our clients are suffering from headaches, whether the source is, originates from tension or something mechanical, or stress or trauma or illness, the goal is the same, and that's to create an atmosphere of relaxation and comfort. In the shamanic world, we call what we do with our clients, in the Reiki world, it's called Raijiho, right? In the shamanic world, it's called field work. So when our clients come into our space or we start to connect with them at a distance, we are connecting with their energy field. The beauty of this is that when we are connected to our client's energy field and we work our 3 pillars, where we connect to the energy, we set ourselves aside, we connect to the energy, and then we bring in that guidance and that opportunity we are offering our client's energy field the opportunity for health and balance immediately upon starting to channel the Reiki energy. So keep that in mind as part of the solution, or as part of the opportunity for healing when you begin your client session. So working with the chakras, the meridians, the aura, or like we just mentioned, the field of your client, you can right away start to offer this tension or this headache the opportunity for that knot or that bind or that kink to start to dissolve and start to synchronize with the healing frequency of Reiki. When I think in terms of a migraine, for instance, or if a client's sleep has really been disrupted and they have that sort of yucky feeling headache, the first place I'm going to start to work is on the root chakra. The root chakra vibrates the crown chakra. None of our chakras work independently of each other. They all work together. So we can look to the root chakra right away to see if there is something keeping our client from having that energy flow in both directions. You can release energy through the earth and you can release energy out your crown. Of course, you can release energy lots of ways and through your heart. But for the purpose of this wave, it's helpful to think in terms of redirecting the energy from this blockage to the root chakra. And so we're going to invite that energy, invite that knot to start to release tension from this end by pulling it down through the root chakra. When I work with somebody who has migraines, then the second place that I start to work is on their legs. The legs are also part of the root chakra. In this case, most of the time I think of the root chakra as extending beyond their feet, but including their hips and their legs. And so I will start to help pull that energy through their legs. And I do that like probably 3 or 4 times, and then take my time, just go slow. As long as if you're doing a nice, gentle touch when you're giving your client their Reiki, it's going to feel really good and it's going to be super relaxing, which is really what you want. Again, you want to create an atmosphere of relaxation so this tension and that knot has the opportunity to start to relax and unwind itself. Then the next place that I would probably go for migraine is, after I did their legs several times, I'd go up to the head and just check in and see, how are we doing? How is it going? Can I work up here yet? Most of the time I find that I can, but do you really check in and feel? If you can't, if you feel like this is just too much and it's still so much tension going on, I would work a little bit above and start to offer this the opportunity. Talk to your clients' compassionate guides and allies and see what advice they would offer to you. Talk to your own compassionate guides and allies and see what advice they would offer to you. You could look at the heart chakra, also vibrates the crown. You could look at the throat, also definitely vibrates the crown. You could look at the third eye. So there are other, chakras that you could start to examine and offer nurturing to and see if that helps release some of that knot or that tension. In the case of the cerebral fluid, so, like I mentioned, at night when we're asleep, that's when our systems have the opportunity to heal themselves. And in the case of our brain itself, that cerebral fluid is cleansed. It's called the lymphatic system. If that's compromised and that's not happening, you're going to have that sort of toxic buildup. We could do some gentle extractions around this area. The one that I use the most is to use the Shoka-Rei symbol drawn on the palm of my hand. And then I gently, work over that area, offering that energy, that tension, or that bind, the opportunity to move on into their own healing path, however that might present itself for them. I work with a compassionate healer as part of my practice, and she helps me move that energy. She creates opportunities for that energy, depending on what their needs are, right? I believe that all energy in the session can be held with compassion. So the pain drain is another gentle extraction technique that you could use. I don't let my client's energy come back into my body. all the energy that I work with flows out of my body. In the case of the pain drain, I'm creating with intention an energetic channel between my two hands. This one removes the pain from the client body, and the other one gives this energy to my compassionate healer. The liver, I just want to talk really quickly about the liver and the role of the liver in potentially manifesting something physical like a headache. So our liver does a lot of work for us. Environmental toxins, any medications that we're taking, if we're taking too many supplements, we take a lot of supplements, probably too many supplements. Are we surrounded by environmental toxins? Are we surrounded by too much electromagnetic radiation and so on? So this is, our liver is going to start to suffer if we have energy blockages. If we're not getting a good night's sleep, then our liver doesn't have the chance at night to rejuvenate itself and remove some of those toxins. If our other systems, if our other physical life processes aren't working as well as they should be, then our liver is going to start to, it's going to start to have some issues and start to manifest things like a headache. So the liver, you can work on the liver meridian, you can work on the liver itself. You could do the pain drain over the liver or gentle extraction over the liver. You can look to the solar plexus chakra, of course. You could look to the sacral chakra. Is it communicating well to the solar plexus chakra, the liver? Is there a meridian issue that's affecting the root chakra? Is there a meridian issue that's affecting the sacral chakra? So there's lots of places that you can look to see if you can alleviate some of that blockage over the liver and the liver chi or ki. When we wrap up a session, of course, with any client, we want to focus on the healing story and what's going to be, value information that's going to help them move forward or inspire them, on their healing path. With headaches, just be mindful of what the agreement is that you have with your client going forward. What did they expect out of the session? What were they hopeful for? And what kind of advice would they really want from you? So hopefully you have an agreement with them at the beginning of your session. And I always encourage you to share recommendations for ongoing Reiki sessions. Of course, we can all get Reiki. I give myself multiple Reiki sessions throughout the day. So, you can have Reiki all the time, every day. Of course, you don't want to create stress, right? Reiki is about creating relaxation. And stress reduction. And so don't put more stress on your client, but just have an easy way for them to schedule the session with you if that's what they want to do. There's so many technologies that you can use. I just work with the Google Calendar on my phone. Easy breezy. I hope you liked this video. I hope that it was helpful and that you learned a little bit about something with headaches and how you could use Reiki in the session. Of course, I hope to expand on some of these subjects, so keep an eye out for my videos. Subscribe to my channel, and then you won't miss any. And also, head on over to Reiki Answer Lady, and I hope that you subscribe to my newsletter there. Check out my free podcasts and my blog. I look forward to our continued community building together. Thank you so much. Namaste. Aho.